Hello everyone, Ceri the Crafter here, that's C-E-R-I the Crafter, and I'm here with the next day in my hashtag Mixed Media March 25 concertina journal. So I think we're up to 28. No, we're not, we're up to 29 apparently. I do love this. I looked at this morning because last night when I went to bed I thought, oh, what have I done? And actually I'm really pleased with that. It's so not me, which is good because it proves I can be not me. Does that make sense to anyone? Right, we're going to go on to day 29. Now, because I'm getting really frustrated moving this journal around and trying to work in it for you, a couple of things have been decided. I think the last three are going to be panels that I've cut out of, I want to say this is 210 GSM, and I've cut them 7¼ by 8½ inches, so it will sit within there up against the hinge and give an equidistant on the other side, plus give me room for the number. I think I'm just going to do whatever I'm going to create will be on panels for the next bit. Now, the other thing I have learned is next year when I do this, if I'm going to have a journal or anything, I will do all of my creations on panels or pieces and then stick them into the journal, because I love this, but it's becoming a pain in the... You guessed it. Right. So, enough of my moan for the day. So I thought, right, what can we do this time that's relatively less labour intensive and using something we've probably got in our store, our studio or our art space, right? So there you go. We know I'm working on this card. I'm going to turn it over so I don't inadvertently see that coming through something. And I have pulled out my ring and small bowl of any floral washi. Now, I do have a video on these storage rings. I will link it. I think they're fabulous. I don't know that you actually need to buy these. I think if you really wanted to be creative, you could probably get one of those wire coat hangers, unwind it, make a hook at the end, and make it into a circle somehow and hook it on and hook it that way. But that's just the way my creative mind goes. I'm not sure, I've not tried it, but I don't regret buying these. I love these. I think I sort of bought a set of 4 of them, and this is how I store all my washi. In here is the washi I don't really care for, like bits with metallic on. I'm not the sort of person who has metallic, or there's a couple of ones in here that basically, that's a metallic one, don't fit onto this ring. Anyone asks where I got my washi from? Everywhere, absolutely everywhere. I bought washi on eBay, Amazon, Etsy. Anytime I'm in a country and I go and see a craft shop, or if I'm a craft show, I buy it. Even in my grocery store, if I like the washi tape, I buy it. I've got 4 rings of this, all different flavors, should have called them. Right, enough of that. So I'm going to bring in a cutting board, because the way I want to work is I'm going to cover this entire panel with washi to create a new background. Now, I've done it many times before, but whether you've seen it or not, I don't know. And I think a lot of us have lots of washi in our stash that we sometimes love to look at, but we don't use. And this is the way I use my washi, and I like doing it. I've done a masterboard before now from it. I've got pages in an art journal. But actually, can I reach my art journal? I can't reach my art journal. I was going to say there's a whole double page, which ended up so pretty, I just didn't put anything else on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to randomly take strips of this. And I don't know whether I'm going to go with darker ones or cream ones or whatever. I will just go with my instinct as I go along, and I'm literally going to put them on here. I'm going to use a glue stick to glue them down, because anyone who knows me knows I have trust issues with washi. I have trust issues with a lot of things, to be honest with you, and I'm just going to smooth it down with a card. I'm also going to glue all the way off the edges onto my cutting board, because then once it's all done, I can just run a blade down there and I don't have to worry about snipping things every 5 minutes. So I think I'm going to start with, see, the other thing I like about these rings is I can just take it straight off the ring, and I don't have to be chasing a bit of washi tape around the studio all the time. So just going to run my glue stick down the back of this. Now I will say washi varies, okay? I have had or have got some washi which is definitely like a paper-based washi. I've also got some washi that has almost like a plastic film on it as well. So I would always say, whatever washi you're using, judge its characteristics as per what you're going to use it for. Okay, just because I've been caught out before now and I thought, oh, that's going to be lovely, and then I've put it down and found out the shiny surface doesn't like to be glued upon. Where's the end of this washi? Oh, it's a new one. So I must admit though, I haven't bought washi for probably 2 years now, and that was a choice, because I went, okay, unless, I mean, I have a rule which I think you've probably heard of before, is I'm only allowed to buy new supplies if there's space in the designated area that I store those in. So like all of my paints and my inks and all of that have got a designated storage space. Once that storage space is full, it's full. And unless something leaves that storage space, nothing new is going to go into that storage space. I'm also going to alter the widths of my washi tapes as well. So let's see, what else can I refer to. So with the washi, I've got 4 rings of washi and these little bits, but 4 rings of washi. So unless I make space on the washi rings, I'm not allowed to buy any more washi. It's just a way that helps me not impulse buy. Because the trouble is with me, I have a collector's nature. So it's like, say let's see, what can I say? Say I want to use Pebeo acrylic paint, and I need green Pebeo acrylic paint. I will go out and buy pretty much every Pebeo paint that they have, so that I've got the whole collection. I only needed the green one, but I've gone and bought all of them. And I do that with lots of stuff. Like if I see something and I'm like, oh, that's really nice, I want to use that. Did I use that one or that one? I used that one. I'm a collector like that, which is not a healthy thing to do. Like, prime example, when I bought my nesting dies in a set of circles, I noted that they had them in squares, hexagons, and hearts. So of course I bought all of them. I didn't need them, and probably I haven't used the heart one to this very day. But that's just the way my brain is wired, guys. And I think a lot of us are like that, so don't feel too outside the loop. Right, I'm literally not worrying. What I am doing though is, if I've got dark ones, and like, I'll mix them up. I don't want all the dark ones next to each other. I'm going to avoid putting the green in, because foliage is another sort of background entirely in my mind. Right, did I have that? I did. That might look quite cute if I can find the end. I can feel it, I can't see it. There you go. Now, if I come to the very end of this piece of card, and I haven't got a piece of washi that actually fits perfectly up to the edge, I'll just trim the card. I'm certainly not going to go cutting a bit of washi in half just to make sure it fits and all of that malarkey. That's not going to happen today. So, and we're almost there. I want to say we've got, it might be 3 more days. So it's 29, 30, 31. Oh, 2 more days after this. I have enjoyed this, but I will freely admit I'm exhausted, guys. This is a hard ask to do 31 days of March with a different video every day. And again, I failed to take advantage of the thing I gave you guys. I gave you guys so much notice as to how the challenge would work and everything. Gave you plenty of time to work ahead. You know when I started mine? I started mine the day before the first one was posted. So basically what I've been doing is every day I've been making the one that follows the next day. Not a good way to work, because if anything goes wrong with me or the studio or Biscuit or anything, I would fail. and I fail in such a way that I just wouldn't be able to get the video out in time. So yeah, and it's my own fault. I literally, as I said, I gave you guys all the notice I could, and I didn't take advantage of it at all. I know some of you had already filmed or made or photographed all of your projects, all 31 of them, before March even started, and then you just sat down and you've enjoyed the whole challenge all the way through, watching other people's creations, being inspired, having time to do little bits of your own. You go, oh, I like that technique, I'll have a go. Did I do that? No. I have enjoyed everything that everyone else has been posting though. Right, so I've got that one. I like these darker ones. So that was that one. There's that one in there. Well, that's that one. I don't have a black and white one, but I do quite like this one. Let's dig this one out if I can find the end. So yeah, as far as how is the challenge going, it seems to be very well received, because last year was the first year I did the challenge. I did it in July. I learned a lot of lessons from that. I had a lot of very positive and constructive feedback from everyone. And I altered a lot of things to be able to do this year's challenge, like the month and where the number should be and is it signed and what is allowed, is there a size, all of that lot. I changed so many things. But I think going forward, I think we're just going to stick with this format with maybe one tweak. I'll put one tweak a year in. And by a tweak, I mean, I might change the shape, or I might ask you to include one thing or something like that. A lot of people did ask me, Ceri, where are the prompts? I'm not sure giving you 31 prompts and making you do something to a prompt every day. To me, that feels a bit restrictive. I mean, some people may like it, and I might think of it as maybe an optional extra for those who want them, and I'll come up with 31 prompts, like a word or a theme or something, and put it into it. But I would make it an optional. I certainly wouldn't want to confine myself to that. Right, we're almost getting there. I'd like to put one darker one there, or at least on the edge. So I need to pull in one that's lighter. Now I don't want to put these in there because they just don't fit the rest of them. That's probably why they're in the first place. If I did that and that would pretty much fit. Sorry, dithery moment. I'd like to end on the dark. That's what I'm trying to work for. I don't mind repeating. Oh, that's a nice one. I haven't had that one so far. Let's put that one in place. Yeah, I'd like to end in the dark. If one of them has to overlap ever so slightly, I also don't mind that as well. We'll see where it goes to. We're about to find out anyway. But yeah, as I said, I have done washi masterboards before now. So I've taken maybe a 12 by 12 or an 8.5 by 11 or whatever size card I chose. And I would do what I've done here over the whole masterboard. And then I would go in and cut that into journal cards, tuck spots, pockets, belly bands, tags, any of that, and then decorate them up, and they look great as a floral background. The other thing I could say is, if you create this, after it's finished, you could always give it a light coat of maybe a white gesso or a transparent white, just to knock everything back slightly, and it'll give you a really interesting background, because florals will go with pretty much anything. Right, just need to find one more, which I think is going to be this one here, the little black flowers. Is it going to be this one? That one's not been used, but I didn't like it very much. That one has been used. Yes, it's this one. We're going to put this down. So yes, I like doing masterboards with them. I also have used them as trim on the edge of a page as well. And I know that sounds really obvious, and a lot of things I say probably sound obvious to you, but it's obvious to you because maybe you've been a crafter for a while. A lot of the stuff I say and some of the techniques I demonstrate, I'm doing them because I know when I started out, I really appreciated those content creators who made stuff for beginners as well as everyone else. I think I can live with that little white bit there. Right, this needs to go back. Right, give me a few seconds. What I'm going to do, and I'm not going to do it on screen, is I'm going to put down a metal edge ruler, and I'm going to take a sharp craft knife, and I'm going to slice all the way through there. I'm going to peel these off and clean my board just while this is drying. And I can't do it with you watching because I want to be looking directly down. If I'm wielding a sharp knife, I can guarantee I don't want to be looking through a video camera. I'll be back in a couple of seconds, guys. And I'm back. I'll say it because it needs saying. If you're using glue stick to glue your washi tape down onto one of these cutting mats, as soon as you cut it, make sure you wash your cutting mat because otherwise it'll just build up. Just one of those things. So we've ended up with our panel here. And as you can see, this could be turned into anything. I could fold this in half and it could become a greetings card. I could actually now put this through my die cutting machine and I could cut out panels for things. There's lots of uses for this, guys, anyway. So the next thing I want to do is I want to come in and I want to round the corners. I'm not sure how rounded I want them. I like the little 4. Let's go to 4 mil. So let's just pop these off. I think the reason I like rounding the corners is basically it sort of gives it a professional finish. And if you're going to be catching yourself anywhere, it's going to be, there's a little bit of an edge there actually. I think I might have to cut that with a knife. I didn't realize that explains why there's a little bit of edge on the other one. Right, let's see if I can quickly do this. Right, I'm going to go against my rule about cutting through with a camera pointed at me, but it's only a really thin edge. I think I can probably, there you go. So just a little bit of an overhang there. As you can see, there's an overhang here. I'm not going to worry about that because I'm going to probably come around it with an ink. As you can see, it pretty much disappears. I'm not going to worry about that. So next stage, let's see what I will do. Let's put that out the way there. I want to leave it till the very last minute to stick it down into the journal. So that's something else to think about. Right, was there an up or a down? Not really. The daisies are the only things that look as if they're going upwards. So I think I'll work on that. Now, I did have 2 options because I thought I went through all of my flowers and all of the flowers I have pretty much are labels. Like the clear ones are great and they look great, but they're shiny. Not a problem. I can put matte gel medium over the top, but this is a really busy background. If I have solid paper flowers, they're fine, but also it's a solid background, a busy background, which is why I said I would potentially put a little bit of transparent white or just a thin coating of gesso on there, white gesso, just to knock it back. Or you could even put a bit of tissue over the top and matte gel medium that down. So I thought, right, what do I want to do? So I pulled out, I went through my stash, I've got postcards. This is a botanical postcard by Katie Scott and Kathy Willis. And I thought something like that would look really lovely on there. But I was torn because, again, I knew it would be busy. And then I have this. I've had this on my shelf. Now, I know somebody sent me this in Happy Mail. And I cannot for the life of me remember who it was. I really don't know. And I think it's really cute. And if you're of this persuasion, we're heading towards Easter, and Easter is bunnies, and I thought that was quite cute. But what I want to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to fussy cut around that edge, because if I've got that organic vintage edge, it will be great. Now, it doesn't actually, it says Gabriel Art, And it says something here, but goodness knows, I can't. I had to look with a magnifying glass, and even I can't see what that is. So give me a second. I'm going to put this one back. I'm going to fussy cut this. And yes, I did remember to bring my scissors up with me. So bear with me, another 2-second stop. So here we go. He's all cut out. Now, because it's got this sort of weathered edge, I am going to put some vintage photo distress ink around it because it needs it. As I said, I don't always ink everything, but sometimes it just requires it, and this requires this as far as I'm concerned. And while I'm here, I might as well go around the edge of this because I've already done that one bit. And this will just conceal any little bit of white that's left there. Right, let's take that out of the way. So our little bunny is going to go here. It's going to go on there. Let's just leave it at that. Now, I wanted to put some sort of wording or inscription on this. And you may remember, let's see if I can find it. Let's push this up here. When I did this page, I said I'd ordered some little stamps that I'd seen on the internet, and when they arrived, I was going to put them in there. Well, they arrived yesterday. And guess what? They weren't stamps. Word to self, don't order things when you're tired. So basically, this is them. I ordered this and I read this and said, oh, Dina Wakley Media Collage Words. And the way it was displayed like this. And I thought, oh, those would be quite cute stamps. They're not stamps. They're 2 sheets of tissue of each. And I think that's absolutely lovely. So they're going to my word supply. I was wondering whether anything here would suit Mr. Bunny. Let's put it that way. I think that's a bit wordy, but we'll put that one by there. Let's put that one there as well. I wasn't planning on having it that wordy. Art is a way of living through. Art is a way of living. Through art you find yourself. Art speaks for your soul. Savor the magic of doing. Art grows your spirit. Art is a soul on view. Art is your story. I quite like that one actually, but let's just keep going. Oh, those are a bit clumpy. Break the rule. I can't read it where it doubles up. Break the rules. Don't be tamed. It will work out. Tell your story. Live your truth. Be kind to you. I wonder whether the referent tamed actually sort of rings with this. He is breaking the rules. He's not been tamed. Is that too big though, do we think? I'm going to mount it onto something else. I was hoping it would fit in down there. I could do it that way. I'm feeling this one, right? No, I'm not. I'm feeling this one. This is one. Oh, see, I'm torn now. And this is what happens when I give them options. I like this one that's got don't be tamed. He's obviously not being tamed. Right, let's tame these things and put them back. I'll never get them back in the package, which is why they're just being held together with a bulldog clip. Because the moment I put a hairdryer on, it's just going to blow them everywhere. So, right, now I need to work out how I want to do this. I did like him up. Now, I could cut this and split it. Or I could just leave it as is. You know, I could get it on there, couldn't I? Right, anyway, let's go through my idea. what I thought I would do is because this is transparent, I don't want the background seeing. I pulled these out from yesterday. Oh, I couldn't like that colour. And I thought I could use one of these as a background, but this one immediately has struck me as being the right one. Now, let's have a think. I can put this down with glue stick. I can put it down with matte medium, and matte medium will make it more transparent. So I think we're going to go to matte medium. And you've seen me use matte medium before, but I'm going to do it for you anyway. Right, let's get this lady in. Just having a bit of a voluptuous moment. Right, I want a reasonably softish brush. I had a soft square one somewhere. Where's it gone? All the brushes I've got and I can't find the one I want. Now, I have repotted my Liquitex Basics acrylic into the old container that used to carry the heavy-bodied. So if you're thinking of buying this, know that it doesn't come in a tub, it comes in a tube. Okay, it's just easier because I was finding it really wasteful, because what I would do is you can always squeeze out, you can't put it back in. And I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. I'm going to waste product like that. So note to Liquitex, I would rather you had bottles that I could put, or tubes I could open the top with, if you don't mind. Now I'm going to be quite generous with the matte gel medium, because the more moisture that goes into the wording or the tissue, the more likely it is to become transparent. Sorry, held my breath for a second there, as you noted. A little bit on the top. Now, I don't know what sort of tissue this is. I know Dina Wakley by name only. I haven't seen a lot of her work because I tend to enjoy watching Diana Reevely instead. And they're very similar, and they both work for Ranger. Or they did when I last looked anyway. Right, don't stick to my fingers. Okay, you need to dry for a millisecond. This doesn't feel like tissue. This feels a bit stronger, because I wouldn't normally be this brutal with it. Right, I need to set this to one side. I need to go and wash this brush. Actually, I might put a hairdryer on that so I can get on with it before you come back. There you go, and that's all nice and dry. And actually, it must be a decoupage tissue, because it did go quite transparent. Right, I want to tear the edges. This doesn't always work. I hope this goes right. Where's my decollage ruler? Right, decollage ruler by We Are Memory Keepers. Fingers crossed I don't wreck this. I can redo it, but I don't want to. I want to get this right the first time. So pressing down really firmly, just tear. It's going to tear quite easily because this is newsprint paper, newsprint offcut, which is what I use for a lot of stuff nowadays. I need to take it down a smidge, because as we saw, it was just a little bit large. I'm also quite liking the fact that I've got little pieces. I don't know whether I might use that in some way in this design. To me, this is looking a bit sparse, but I think sparse is okay occasionally. And I am considering putting a butterfly in, purely because it's the most perfect place to use a butterfly, because it's a garden, for goodness sake. Let's ease up on the bunny, shall we? Take that a little bit off there because it didn't tear quite right. And so I'm lining it up on my mat. So I'm sort of doing a 90-degree corner. I mean, I'm not aiming for perfection. I'm just aiming for right. So, okay, so if I do that, actually I do quite like, I wanted the bunny up there for the longest time, but I think if the bunny was down, that would work. Now I do have these I could add in something else, but I think that would be overkill. Let's put that down first, because this can overlap that slightly. Now I'm going to have to go around the edges of that just to give it a bit of a defining edge, just catching it. And we may be there. I mean, other than stick it into the concertina journal and me putting the number and the name on there, we could well be close to finishing. It's a bit of a relief to do a short one instead of a long one. So I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to use glue stick. I would potentially have used matte gel medium to glue stuff down. If it was for something I was giving as a gift or a card front or something like that, I would use matte gel medium. But as it's for me, and as this is going to be in my possession, and if it comes unglued, I can always reglue it. Put it down, give it a bit of a smush. The reason I'm saying this is because, as I said, I'm uncertain with some of the surfaces of washi. I mean, it should be paper to paper because washi is a paper. However, some washi tapes have like a shiny film on them. Okay, so he can go in there. And I quite like the way that little U goes there. Now, because this is cardstock, I'm going to do something slightly different with this one. And because it's a ragged edge as well. So I'm going to come in, and I'm going to put glue stick in all across the back of this. A reasonably heavy amount of it, purely because the next stage is going to take me a few seconds to do. Oh, don't bend. And then I'm going to come in with art glitter glue. And I'm going to go around the edges of this because it's got a wibbly wobbly edge. Right, let's lay you down. I wanted that U just to pop into there. Should want this over a bit, I think. Right, put a lid on the glue, because that's the downfall of me with art glitter glue. I forget to put the lid on, and then it dries up, and then I'm cursing it the next time I'm using it. Well, maybe not cursing it. Maybe that's too much of it. I'm not happy with it. Let's just put it down. Let's put a bit of paper down just so I can rub this without causing myself any issues. So, okay, right. It does need something. I really think this is the right place to put butterflies on it. And I know I've got to the point now where I tend to avoid butterflies because the more time I put butterflies on things, the more it becomes a habit. Now, before I go to my big box of butterflies, let's just pull in random things that are like, these are the paper butterflies I used. I used that yesterday, didn't I? I was just wondering whether there's something in here that's maybe close to that colour. I'm not sure there is. We're just delving in, guys, just delving in. The butterfly is not the feature. That's what I need to remember. See, that's almost exactly the same colour, but that's just too big of a but. I need to make some more of these. That's right. So those are not going to happen. Now I do have, I've got clear label. That needs to go back in the box. I've got clear label butterflies, which actually wouldn't be too bad. And if I really hated them, I could always go over them with matte gel medium, as I said. I don't use these. Oh, I like that one better. And because he's darker, or she, could be a female butterfly, it does mean that the background will be not seen as much through there. Yeah, I don't know where these came from. I don't know that I bought these. Or if I did, I don't remember where I bought them from. Actually, I think I like that one better. It's not that colour, but it's not a trillion miles away from it. wasn't planning on doing a clear butterfly sticker, but I don't use them that often. Right, that's a lot more close to that. That one kind of is working so far. I mean, I've got fabric butterflies here. I got them off, I don't know why, I think there was a project that was done. I like that even more. That had them on, and I didn't like the project, so I harvested them off. He doesn't look like he's the sort of person who has a lace butterfly. Right, and I've got these little butterfly elements, so I was thinking up there. These are just washi tape stuck to book page, and then I've cut them into squares. I think 2 butterflies might be overkill. And these are rub-ons, but there's no bodies, there's only wings. That would be lovely, but I'd have to somehow manufacture a body. Actually, I'm liking that one. I keep coming back to this because it's closer to that. I like this because of the drama of it. Right, let's stay with that one, or, oh, I've seen another one. Actually, I like that because that pulls in that colour, and that would pull that across. Right, we're going to stick with that one. We're going to watch Ceri struggle and try and take the back of a butterfly sticker. I think these ones are okay because these stickers have got quite a firm backing to them. Right, put the lace ones by. Now, is that the right place? Yes, it is the right place. Okay, let's see if I can do this. I'm usually quite good with the butterfly stickers. Famous last words. And there you go, I did it. Right, always throw your backing straight into the trash because you'll be amazed at where that shows up later on. Put you down there, give him a really good burnish. And hopefully he's permanently down. And for once, because it's a really busy background, I'm not going to be able to see this. Now, if I tilt it, I will see that there's a clear sticker there. But I'm not going to worry about that. And if it does bother me, as I said, I can come in with clear matte gel medium just to take the shine off that if I need to. Right. This needs something here, but I'm not sure what that something is. What would I put there? I don't need a flower. I've got plenty of flowers. I don't want a second butterfly. I could put a number in there, but does that really... If I had something like a watering can or something like that, I wonder if I've got anything like that around. Give me a second. I'm going to turn the camera off and have a quick root through stuff and see what I've actually got. Well, that took a long while. I've tried birds. I've tried postage stamps. I've tried nothing. I've tried flowers. I've tried everything. And the only thing I've come up with that looks anything sort of acceptable is special handling. And I think that's what I want to do. And it's a sticker, so I think it's going to be slightly transparent. So I tried numbers. It's just, if I'd have had something that was the actual date, which was the 29th, I probably would have put it on there. But to be honest with you, I'm happy with this. I don't know what else I'll put there. As I said, if I had a pile of watering, what am I trying to say? If I had a pile of flower pots at a watering can, I probably would have done that. Right, as always, even though it's a sticker, it gets glue. And I think just by there. So I need to see whether it's straight-ish. Yeah, I think that's okay. I can't say it's my first choice, but it's the choice I'm taking. So is everything stuck on here? It is. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to put this into the book and I'm going to be able to finish off the page as well. So when you come back, it will be a close-up look. So it's going to sit into here, which I think is lovely. Oh, do I want to put a trim down there? That's another question. I don't think I do actually. That this is quite a busy page. Now I'll put that down there. It needs to go up quite high because I've got to get the numbering down here. I think that'll be okay. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I did with this. I'm going to put glue stick in the middle, and I'm going to go around it with washi tape, art glitter glue. So give me 2, and then we'll come back for a close-up, guys. And here we go, and it's all glued down, it's all signed and numbered, and it's ready to go. I'm quite happy with that. It was a bit of a simple make, but I mean, the whole idea was to share with you about, look at your washi tape, give yourself some backgrounds, give yourself something different. Something I did do, I remembered when I was gluing this down and doing this, I had a piece of washi tape that said believe, and it had flowers on. So I put that up there because I thought that's a really nice counterbalance to that. I like that a lot. So hopefully you enjoyed that, guys. I've only got 2 more to go. I'm not 100% certain. I've got about 5 more projects I was planning, but what I've been doing is I've been putting some off and some off and some off, and there's a couple I'm like, maybe now is the time to do them. So the next couple of I'm probably going to stick with this format. As I said, I'm going to make a panel, complete it, and then stick it in because it's getting a bit dodgy trying to get all this done. So guys, thank you for your patience. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm Ceri the Crafter. That's Ceri the Crafter. Until tomorrow. Goodbye now.